First conclusion. Face reality and learn how to unlearn. Mayor Hillman. We're doomed. The outcome is death, and it's the end of most life on the planet because we're so dependent on the burning of fossil fuels. There's no means of reversing the process, which is melting the polar ice caps, and very few appear to be prepared to say so. Joan Sullivan. Even if we are doomed, and I think we are, I refuse to do nothing. The Gesturing Towards Decolonial Futures Collective. We need to walk a tightrope between desperate hope and reckless hopelessness, balancing rational and relational rigor. Conclusion 2. Develop and implement a radical theory of change through the arts. David Haley. We now need aesthetics to sensitize us to other ways of life, and we need artists to sensitize us to the shape of things to come. Jen Ray. The thing about a preparedness mindset is that you're thinking into the future. And so if one of those scenarios happens, you're already mentally prepared in some sort of way for it. David Maggs. If we only speak with our arts and do not listen with them first, revelation is replaced by diction. Conclusion 3. Transition out of modernity. The Gesturing Towards Decolonial Futures Collective. We are part of a much wider metabolism, and this metabolism is sick. There's a lot of shit for us to deal with, personal, collective, historical, systemic. Our fragilities are a big part of this. This shit needs to pass so that it can be composted into new forms of life, no longer based on the illusion of separability. Eric Beinhocker. Humankind is in a race between two tipping points. The first is when the Earth's ecosystems and the life they contain tip into irreversible collapse due to climate change. The second is when the fight for climate action tips from being just one of many political concerns to becoming a mass social movement. The existential question is, which tipping point will we hit first? Conclusion 4. Change the story. George Monbiot. Despair is the state we fall into when our imaginations fail. When we have no stories that describe the present and guide the future, hope evaporates. Political failure is, in essence, a failure of imagination. Without a new story that is positive and propositional rather than reactive and oppositional, nothing changes. But with such a story, everything changes. George Marshall. We need passionate storytellers to break habitual patterns, discover alternative values, and consider new perspectives. Conclusion 5. Connect our efforts. Todd Dufresne. Whoever survives these experiences will have a renewed appreciation for nature, for the external world, and for the necessity of collectivism in the face of mass extinction. Assad Rehman. Our goal is to keep our ideas and policies alive for when the politically impossible becomes the politically inevitable. George Monbiot. We have no choice but to raise the scale of civil disobedience until we have built the greatest mass movement in history. How can listening help?